G'day viewers, and welcome to the next episode of It's Always Beeroclock. I'm here today with Sidekick Dave, who's behind the camera. Simon is actually in South America, but he'll be back for the next episode, I'm sure. Today Dave and I are visiting the Sydney suburb of Botany, and we've come to One Drop Brewing. So let's drop in. We're here at One Drop Brewing in the Sydney suburb of Botany with Nick, who is one of the founders and the head brewer. G'day, Nick.
Hello, bro. You good?
Very good, mate.
That's good.
I've been here once or twice before just as a patron,
Yep.
but this is our first official visit from our YouTube channel. It's Always Beeroclock. Can you give us a little bit of the background of One Drop? How did it all come about?
Yeah. So what was it, about 6-7 years ago? Clay and Meg had the idea of opening something in Botany that was not a pub and not something that was, I guess, just a place to drink. They wanted to open a community space. There wasn't a lot in Botany for that. So Meg is a local. She grew up here her whole life. And her partner is Clay, who's Kiwi. I'm a Kiwi as well. They were on holiday in Croatia. They had plans to open a brewery, brewery over there. We met up. They were like, "Do you want to come to Sydney open a brewery with us?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to do that." So we got together, formed, I guess, what is One Drop, and opened up here in January 2019. So Clay being the music head, as you guys commented on earlier, that's where the name comes from. So we're a reggae-inspired brewery. And the one drop beat behind reggae is where the name comes from.
Okay, got it. Now, I was going to ask you about previous brewing or hospitality experience. You said you worked in a brewery in Croatia?
Yeah. So the Garden Brewery, it was run by, we had music festivals down the coast and we wanted to open a brewery that serviced those. So we opened in Zagreb in 2015. So I was over there working around that project. About 3 years, and then Meg has a Croatian background, so Meg and Clay were over in Croatia on a family holiday, and we met up, and we just gelled and said, let's do it, let's pull together, come to the city.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That is a great origin story. By the way, Croatia, great country.
Awesome, so good.
Fantastic.
So the beer's a lot better now too.
Oh, I'm sure it is, since you've been there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had that idea. How did you actually put the idea into practice?
A lot of trial and error, a lot of mistakes. So we got the keys here about mid-2018, and I was still in Croatia at the time, finished just tying that project up. And Clay, his cousins, his friends, anyone who would help build concrete, help put the plumbing in, helped bring these tanks in, like we wrapped up so much beer debt that we owed these people with beer. Right. And we had about 6 months to get everything ready, and we were ready just before Christmas 2018, but we decided Botany's postcode is 2019, so we opened the first weekend of January, and we gave ourselves 2-3 weeks off. Our official birthday though is the 7th of Feb.
Okay.
Because it gives everyone that break over Christmas before coming to celebrate with our birthday with us. It's also Bob Marley's birthday, which plays into
the whole One Drop thing. So you're 5.5 years old.
5.5, yep.
Okay, and in terms of brewing, I see you have a few beers in your core range. You have quite a substantial list of sours.
Yep.
So is sour beer a passion of yours?
Yes, all beer is a passion.
Right.
But my favourite child would be lager, which is why we're drinking one now.
Yes, it's beautiful.
But there's two ends of the spectrum there, right? So you've got the nuances in lager and tiny little changes, or even bad brewing practices can show up. And so being able to perfect those is a never-ending quest in brewing for a craft brewery. And then the complete other end of the spectrum, which is the sour and pastry space, so pastry stouts and the smoothie sours. That's such a new space that has so much room to grow in, and kind of we apply the same methodology to both. Just how fast we push it, how good can we get. And one is drilling down on the very microscopic, and the other is completely open. So I think sour is a space where, whether you're doing it nuanced through the wild barrel-aged stuff, like we are, where you combine it with ingredients, there's still a lot of space to play and create really cool stuff.
Okay, so how wild have you gone as far as ingredients are concerned?
So we asked, pretty wild, we asked our fruit supplier to find us a really obscure fruit from Brazil called Jacaba. Have you heard of those?
No.
It's essentially a blueberry that's the size of a tennis ball. It grows on the trunk of the tree, not on the actual fruit. So
okay,
it's wild. So it tastes exactly like a blueberry mixed with cream, like milk. And so we got a ton of that picked, processed, and brought over from Brazil. We put it into a beer called Jaw Dropper, which I think is definitely in our top 5 rated beers. People went nuts for it. We loved it. It was such an awesome fruit to play with. So that as a single fruit was cool. We've also played around recently with ube, which is a herbal root vegetable from Malaysia.
Right.
We mixed that with coconut cream we imported, from the Philippines. Was where the ube is from, and we imported coconut cream from Malaysia and blended those two together into a sour base. Stopped it from curdling and created this really thick, smooth, creamy style, which we recently took over to Beeroclock in New Zealand and went really well.
Okay.
Yeah, we're playing around.
All right, sounds like fun. So Nick, what's the best-selling beer in your range?
So at the tap room is our hazy pale ale, which champions the Beeroclock hop, which my mate I'm from Nelson with a hops grower, and he grows it for us.
Yep.
We get to pick it, we get to use it, so it's a really, really flavorful beer. It's close to home, literally. It sells the most here. Off-site, because we do 4 to 5 beers every fortnight. There's not any one bestseller, but the style would probably be the smoothie sour style at the moment.
Okay.
That sells the best off-site.
All right. And if folks want to get hold of your beer and they can't come into the tap room, where can they get it?
They can go to their local independent bottle shop, who should stock One Drop. If they don't, they can jump on our website, onedropbrewingco.com.au, and order direct from us.
Okay, we recommend folks do that.
Yeah, we do.
Nick, tell me what you do about water profiling.
Yeah, all right, cool. So water, we love it. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big fan of lager, and part of my little pet project here has been our lager program over the last probably 18 months. So we have invested in RO water here at One Drop, which what that means is we filter the water back to the H2O molecule. So there's nothing in it, no salts,
just
no buffers,
pure water.
H2O. Yep. And then when we go to make a beer, so whether we're replicating a stout or a lager from different parts of the world, so like Athens or Fiji or Barcelona or Czech Republic, water profiles of municipalities are public knowledge. So we can look that up, and I can build the water, so the water that we brew with is exactly what those brewers in those cities traditionally have used or are using even today. And then we take that and we do a riff on different lagers from around the world. So like Fiji, we did a Fiji lager where we used a Fiji water bottle, like the profile of a Fiji water bottle. Czech Republic, we used the water from Pilsen. For a dark lager, or like a Dortmund lager, we're using water profile from Dortmund. We did a Spanish lager, we used the Barcelona Aquifer water profile. And that allows us to, one, as brewers, be like, in a lager, you can really tell what's happening with the water, and a lot of passionate lager brewers, that's a lot of it is about the water.
Yeah.
And so as brewers, we can see what's happening when we change that, but also we can educate the customer on how nuanced and different lager can be, especially when it comes to the ingredient that makes up 97-98% of it, which is water.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned lager, and I'm glad you did, because lager has sort of been, in craft beer circles, maybe a little bit of a, not a dirty word, but it's been undersold in the last 20 years, underappreciated. I think there's a place for quality lagers, isn't there?
100%. Because I think there's a renaissance back to beer with brewers themselves, and I think the average customer, not a quote-unquote beer geek, but the people that are walking into venues and want to drink something crisp, clean, and light, especially for the Australian market, are coming back to lagers. I mean, it's a crisp, clean, refreshing drink. Like, there's a reason why they were popular, like you said, for so long.
Yeah.
And now they're coming back because they fit a purpose, not just a fad. You know?
That's right. Well, there's a reason why in the last 200 years it's been the most popular style of beer. And a quality lager can't be beat.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think lager itself is an approachable beer, right? It's almost the stepping stone or the first step if you are coming into craft beer. So having a lager on or having multiple means that you're accessible to more people that come through the door. You're accessible to people who bring people with them to your brewery who maybe not know much about beer or want to try something at the base level, not something overly hoppy or overly sour. And it's a great entry point. I think everyone should carry one, regardless of if a small group of people consider it a bad term or bad beer, or as you said, not popular.
Yeah. All right. Cheers to that.
Cheers, brother.
So, talking of your lager, I noticed that when you poured this one for us, it was out of a side pull tap, whereas the rest of the taps are sort of just straight up and down.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
Side pour tap is a traditional tap they pour lager with in the Czech Republic.
Right.
So it allows you to have far more control over the pouring of the beer. So whether you are pouring a high carbonation and no head, which is a really sprightly product, or you're going, they do half and half. I forget the Czech terms, where you have kind of wet foam and then beer underneath, and it creates more mouthfeel, and you have a lot of the aromatic, the hop compounds in the foam, are more flavorful. There's things called milk tubes, which is all wet foam that you can actually drink because the foam is so dense.
Right.
And this is typically an after-work drink in the Czech Republic, so a working person's drink. So it only costs 20 cents or 50 euro cents, because it is just foam. But you can get all the flavour, and you're only drinking maybe like 30 ml.
Okay.
So it allows us to, again, take something which is considered boring. A lot with the water profile story, we can pour a lager 3 different ways, and someone can have 3 different experiences with a lager, which, again, no one would think of back in the day.
No.
It's just a straight, normal lager, beer is beer, move on. We're trying to kind of change in that, bringing something a bit kind of new to it. So, old, but bring it back.
Yeah, but that's really interesting that it's not just in the brewing, but it's actually in the pouring of the beer.
Big time. Yeah.
So you're actually, thinking about the flavour the whole way through to the time it's in the glass.
Big time, yeah. And thinking about a customer, right? You have, again, the product is so nuanced, every small change you make has a big impact.
Yeah.
Whereas the other spectrum of beers, which is throwing fruit and stuff out, they have obviously a large impact too. But with something so small and nuanced, tiny little changes here and there can give the customer a different experience.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You've been around for quite some time. You're obviously pretty successful. The local community love you.
Big time, yeah.
You were the first brewery in the Botany region, weren't you? There's a couple others who've joined you, so it's starting to become a mini Marrickville.
Yeah. There's a reason for being now,
Yeah, that's it. What are the plans for the next few years?
Stay alive. So we see ourselves kind of as a brand creating products that are on a worldwide scale, not just a local or national scale. Not so much in volume, but in what we create and how accessible it is for everyone. So there's so many flavors you saw on the board there, right?
Yeah.
They apply to so many tastes. So the next kind of 5 years, I think, sees our brand going more overseas and taking those flavors and tastes over there, not in a volume, like not as in a volume sales game, but in like a brand recognition and appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of where we stand. Like as we mature as a brand, that we get it out to more of the world, not just the Australia or Southeast Asian market. But Botany will always be our home, and we will stay here for sure. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a great facility you've got here. Thanks for talking to us, Nick.
Cheers, bro. Thank you.
Cheers.
So Mark,
Yes, Dave.
I have a question, and I'm
Yes,
just going to
Dave.
pan down. It's one of the most colourful palettes, tasting paddles, whatever you want to call it, that we've had. How do you feel drinking what looks to be like fizzy cordial, a milkshake, and 2 ambers?
Well, I don't know, Dave, till I taste them, but this is called the Greytown Sour, and this is called the Too Long Sour. This is just a normal hazy pale ale, and this is a lager, so I sort of know what to expect there. These two will be interesting.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The Too Long. Certainly a sour, but it's not offensive. Brings the saliva out a bit. It's actually pretty good. Okay, Mark, what do you want to now?
Greytown. It looks tempting, doesn't it?
And tell me, Mark, does the grey matter?
I don't know where the grey comes from, but I'm on a beach in Miami drinking that. Yum. All right, we're here at One Drop Brewing with Alicia and Darren. Alicia, what have you just had?
I've just drank Wee Jammin'.
We Jammin'? It's a sour beer, I take it?
Yeah, it is a sour, a bit of a mango taste to it, which is fruity.
And, you know, what was your assessment? Did you like it?
I did like it. Look, I think Darren had one before that I preferred. However, I do like it and I would actually get it again. So it's a thumbs up from me.
All right, and let's talk to Darren. Darren, have you been here before to this brewery?
Never before, but always order them online, so
Okay, and how many brews have you tried today?
probably 4th or 5th.
Okay, and did you have a favourite amongst those?
Yeah, favourite was Calypso Blue. It was great. Sour beer. I think there's banana in there, a few other things, but it's great.
Okay, and are sour beers your normal go-to sort of beer?
Yes, and I like the Meepers as well.
Okay,
So I started here with the first, it was a Meeper. Loved it, but then I loved trying their fruit sours, because that's what they're known for, and their smoothies.
all right. Well, Darren and Alicia, thank you very much. All right, we're here with Glenn and Vicky.
That's right.
Are you guys from around here?
No, from Melbourne.
From Melbourne?
But originally New Zealand.
Okay, so what brings you to One Drop?
Oh, we're just on our way to the airport, and it's a nice little stop-off point before our flight.
Okay, and what are you folks drinking today?
We've got the flight of the core range, so there's the lager, pale, stout, and the shandies on her flight.
Yep. And I got the lager, pale, lemon, and shandy.
Okay. Favourite so far?
I haven't tasted the stout, but probably the pale is this favourite so far.
Okay. Vicky?
I'd agree as well. But I'm waiting for my sours.
Oh, you're going to go through the sours
I'll
afterwards?
go through the sours
Well,
afterwards.
yeah, Dave and I have tried a couple and we recommend it.
Yeah. I've had a few
Okay.
before. I like them.
Okay.
Not now, I mean. Dave's laughing at me like I've had too many drinks.
So you've had them, like you bought them at the bottle shop, or?
Bought them at the bottle shop, and they were at Gab's this year.
Oh,
And
okay.
They had, I got a flight from there as well, which was really good.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, guys,
No worries.
and happy travels back to Melbourne.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, we're here at One Drop with Chris and Henry.
Hello.
Guys, have you been here before?
I have, yes, about 2 years ago I came along. Yeah.
Okay,
It's my first time.
first time. And what are you trying today?
Start with a lager.
Okay, you've only had a little sip
Yeah.
so far. What do you think?
Good, pretty like crisp. Just your good old lager, can't go wrong.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And Henry, what have you got there? Something a little hazier?
Yeah, it's a pale ale. It's called a lean in. I haven't tried it before. I've had a few sips. I can taste the pineapple. Yeah, it's good. I like the density of it.
Okay. Is that your sort of go-to style, Henry?
Yeah, an IPA. Yeah, it is. I think I've sort of transitioned from lagers to something a bit more meaty.
Okay. And what's your impression of the place in general?
I like it. It's interesting. I like the plants, the way they've used it to hang, and the sort of eclectic mix of paraphernalia, and obviously the big vats over there.
Yeah, it's sort of both a cosy but sort of industrial place. I suppose it still pays homage to its original roots. I guess it was some sort of industrial workshop or something here originally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're here with Amir and Brittany from North Carolina in the United States. Okay, so folks, I understand you've just arrived from the airport here to One Drop Brewing. Now, you guys get into the sort of craft brewing back home in the States?
Yeah, pretty much anytime we go to a new city, we try to explore the local breweries and kind of get a sense of the vibe there and everything. So we're enjoying it so far, yeah.
Okay, and Brittany, what beers have you tried here today?
I got a flight of their smoothie sours. So far I've had all 4 of these ones and they're all amazing.
Okay, is there one in particular that maybe you prefer?
Probably the Calypso.
The Calypso. Okay, and Amir, you're on your second tasting panel.
Second tasting, yeah.
Yeah. And what's been your favourite so
The
far?
first one I got the core beers, the flagship ones, they were pretty good. I like the hazy a lot. This is just the IPAs, and this one, the Surrender, is the best one. It's a double IPA, really smooth.
Okay, the Surrender. Yeah. All right. Thanks very much for talking to us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Cheers. Well, Sidekick Dave, our visit here to One Drop Brewing in Botany has concluded. Did you have a fine afternoon?
It was an excellent afternoon, I've got to say. Music, big tick. The whole ambience of the place, fantastic. A commercial feel, but welcoming.
Yeah, the staff were very welcoming, as you say. The place is great. Dave, did you have any favourite beers?
Yeah, for me the standout was the Surrender New England IPA. And then, hard to say, but equal second, 2 sours. One was the Wee Jammit. It's almost like a mango daiquiri. And then, quite a strange drop, the Greytown.
the Greytown. If you like pina colada,
And getting caught in the rain?
yeah, well, it's raining outside now, so it's an appropriate beer if you like.
How about you, Mark? Did you have any favourites?
Botany Bay Lager, fantastic. And Dave, I agree with you that both those sours, the Greytown and the Wee Jammin', were really, really good. But until next time, folks, remember, it's always Beeroclock.